breaking news alerts, today's top stories, and weather before the first commercial break. CBS 47 on your side at 5 begins with breaking news.
I saw a pilot on the ground, parachute hanging from the building.
A fighter jet slams into a Virginia Beach apartment complex. The area looks like a war zone. It happened on the East Coast, but a very similar scene played out years ago right here in Fresno. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evy Ramos. Ken Malloy is on assignment. We have team coverage of the breaking news out of Virginia Beach tonight. Both of the pilots ejected safely. But as Randall Pinkston shows us, the search is on for survivors on the ground. Continuing our team coverage, what's happening today in Virginia Beach is remarkably similar to an incident 18 years ago in Fresno. A twin-engine Learjet crashed into an apartment in southeast Fresno. The nightmare scenario played out in an apartment complex near Olive and Chestnut. The story made national headlines. CBS 47's Rachel Acevedo is live in southeast Fresno with how people remember that day. Rachel? And in an eerie footnote, exactly 1 year ago today, an F-18 Super Hornet crashed at Lemoore Naval Air Station, killing both pilots on board, Lieutenant Matthew Lowe and Lieutenant Nathan Williams. Earlier this year, the Navy released the accident report on the incident. Investigators say it was the result of pilot error. Navy officials say the flight crew was practicing a maneuver when the pilot somehow lost control. Stay with CBS 47 for the latest on the Navy jet crash in Virginia Beach. We'll bring you continuing coverage here on CBS 47 and online at cbs47.tv. New at 5 tonight, the Modesto teacher who made news when he moved in with an 18-year-old former student is now in trouble with the law. Police say 41-year-old Christopher Hooker was arrested today for sexual contact with another teen. Late last year, Hooker left his job and family to live with the 18-year-old high school senior. The current charges, however, stem from a 1998 relationship with a 17-year-old student from Davis High School, where Hooker used to teach. Tonight, a mother and father are in the hospital with serious burns after their mobile home caught fire. It happened just before 7 this morning in Selma near the intersection of Dinuba and Leonard Avenues. CBS 47's Tony Body is live in the newsroom with the latest on the investigation. Tony? New at 5 tonight, accusations he illegally owned an assault rifle have landed a Fresno man in jail. Anti-gang officers took 23-year-old Dragon Lai into custody after searching his central Fresno home today. Officers had a warrant for the search. They found the assault rifle along with some ammunition, a shotgun, and a bayonet. Lai is now facing felony charges. New unemployment numbers are out today. They show job growth is slowing. The unemployment rate dropped to 8.2% in March, but that's only because fewer people are searching for jobs. At a forum on women and the economy today, President Obama admitted there's more work to be done.
Right now, no issue is more important than restoring economic security for all our families in the wake of the greatest economic crisis since the Great Depression.
The number of new jobs grew in manufacturing, food services, night spots, and healthcare, but it dropped in retail, and temp firms are taking on fewer people looking for work. Today's CBS 47 web poll asks, do you blame President Obama for the job crisis? To answer today's CBS 47 web poll, head to cbs47.tv. Tune in for the results tonight at 11. The Easter weekend is here, so what's the weather going to look like? Here's a live look from our Fresno Skyview camera. Chief Meteorologist Scott Mesa has your first look at the pinpoint forecast.
It's going to look a lot like that. We'll have clear skies and warmer high temperatures Saturday and Sunday.
Still ahead on CBS 47 at 5, are you concerned about hearing loss? You may not be able to stop hearing loss, but you can slow it down. Tips that will be music to your ears next.
I was getting some toys, one toy.
This 4-year-old wanted a toy. What he got was trouble, why he had to be cut out of a vending machine. And coming up new tonight on CBS 47 at 6, laying down the law when it comes to pot grows on Valley Ag land. If some farmers aren't careful, they could pay a huge price. Top local law officials spell out why. A new report is shedding light about just how hooked Americans are on prescription drugs. The Centers for Disease Control have actually classified it as an epidemic, saying a third of young people who abuse drugs are doing so with prescription medication. We're on your side with health news tonight. While you may not be able to stop hearing loss, you can slow it down. Everyday sounds can be too loud and cause damage that's irreversible. Nanette Sosa offers us tips on how to preserve your hearing. The U.S. Coast Guard opens fire, sending a so-called ghost ship to a watery grave. The new images right ahead.
And details on the beautiful weekend coming up in pinpoint weather. I'll have that just around the corner. First, the Dr. Boz allergy, asthma, and sinus report. Storm system, that slow-moving storm, moves on shore.
Nice of that system to wait until after the Easter egg hunts.
Yeah, isn't it?
Important. Thank you, Scott. A video has been released of a U.S. Coast Guard cutter sinking a so-called ghost ship off the Alaskan coast. The Japanese fishing vessel broke loose during last year's tsunami and has been drifting ever since. It was determined to be a possible hazard to shipping lanes, so the U.S. cutter carried out orders to sink it. Two home invaders picked the wrong victim.
They'd have been hit the wrong end of a 12-gauge shotgun.
Friends react after a neighbor has to fight off the men with a toilet plunger. And a daring rescue off the Hudson River. Find out how a ship's captain became a hero for the second time.
His son.
Good Friday celebrations happening around the world. It's when Christians remember Jesus' death with passion plays and processions. One of the biggest events every year is in the Holy Land. This is video of a procession in Jerusalem. And for Jews around the world, Passover begins tonight. It's coinciding with the Easter weekend. It commemorates the story of Exodus when the Jews were freed from slavery. The holiday lasts through next Friday. New at 5 tonight, a tugboat overturns off New York's Liberty Island. The workers were trying to lift something with a crane when the vessel tipped over into the Hudson River, throwing 3 crewmen overboard. The captain of another vessel saw the men in the water, pulled them from the river. The men were rescued by a ferry captain who also helped in the 2009 Miracle on the Hudson rescue. All the men are expected to recover. An Oklahoma City area woman used a toilet plunger to fight off 2 armed men during a home invasion. It happened in the middle of the day. Police don't have much to go on. The victim was in the shower when she heard glass break. She grabbed the only weapon she could, a plunger. Her neighbor was fishing nearby and says the bad guys got off easy.
If I'd have seen them go in that front door yesterday when I was sitting here, they'd have been hit the wrong end of a 12-gauge shotgun.
The intruders are still on the run. The woman is recovering. New at 5, Australian firefighters rescued a 4-year-old boy after his arm got stuck in a vending machine while trying to grab a toy. It took firemen an hour to dismantle the machine and finally free the youngster. The little guy was held by his mom throughout the ordeal and kept a stiff upper lip. He even got a treat at the end.
I was getting some toys, 1 toy.
He got 1 toy. That's right, he got a toy for all his trouble. Before going home, the boy was also given a ride on a fire truck. Another shot at the big time. The incredible story of the player who's about to become the oldest pitcher ever to start in a major league game. He's only 49. And new tonight on CBS 47 at 6, top local law enforcement sending out a message. Farmers caught growing marijuana face new pressure to get out of the biz or face losing the property. We'll spell it out for you in a live report. Baseball season is here, and that's making a lot of sports fans happy. But one of the most unlikely stories emerging from the ball field is that of 49-year-old Jamie Moyer. The Rockies pitcher is the oldest starter ever to make the opening day roster. Despite being a lot older than the rest of his team, he says they still have a lot of fun together.
No one's asked you if you've played with Babe Ruth?
I get that on occasion, yeah. And I actually sometimes I kid guys that I used to clean his shoes and things like that. So kind of
clean Babe Ruth's shoes?
Yeah, it breaks the ice.
If Moyer wins his first game this season, he'll become the oldest pitcher in Major League history to win a game.
So funny.
I
you
love
talk
it.
about professional sports and, in football, guys can be all washed up at 35.
Right.
They're lucky if they
Right.
can make it into their 30s.
Right. 49, almost 50.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Amazing. Well, I wish them well. And it looks like we're in for a nice weekend. We have clear skies and warm temperatures for Saturday and Sunday. High of 74 on Saturday and 78 degrees on Easter Sunday. And we'll stay dry and clear until about Tuesday night of next week. And then the chance of rain showers begins.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.